All right, and we are back with the outro now. So what do you think of John and everything that he talked about in Methodist, helping Methodists?
I thought it was really inspiring. I like just the idea of Methodist helping Methodists. I think of, when I hear that, I think of just the community, the sense of how you feel in the community. Neighbor helping neighbor is what comes to mind. And just, how awesome God is that he spoke that to him to open up that door in an area that he couldn't get to because of what was going on, in the country at the time. But that God had a way and he had plans, and John just stepped into that. And I love that, how that looked, and just really his heart in that.
Yeah, I agree. I think whenever we can take that step back and realize God's in control, God's going to put it together. Mm-hmm. All he's really doing is asking us to take a step forward.
Right.
He'll open the door. He'll provide everything we need. And I think we get so wrapped up in, okay, God, I hear you telling me to take a step forward, but how am I going to see where that step goes? How are you going to provide for that? And God's like, don't worry about that. That will happen when it needs to happen. All I'm asking is for you to take that step.
Right.
And I think we overcomplicate things.
We do, and as I mentioned the verse I had this morning about, he says, pray, seek, and knock. And so many times we pray, but he's calling us to seek and he's calling us to knock also. Yeah. And how important those steps are to do.
Yeah, that's great. So, moving into our world update for this episode, again, another event that very recent for us, will be a couple weeks old for the listener whenever this comes out. Could be older if you're listening to this even at a later date.
Yes.
But the explosion that happened here in Spring Branch area,
yes,
over on Clay, near Gessner, over by Beltway 8, kind of that whole area. We're still reeling in it. There's still investigations at the time of what exactly happened. Should people died? But in the heart of tragedy, in the heat of tragedy, I think people have a choice to make. Whether that choice is to do nothing, whether that choice is to just pray, whether that choice is to go out and act, you have a choice to make whenever you hear news like that. And I am so proud to be a part of a church that not only whenever something like this happens says we're going to pray and we're going to love on these people, but we have the resources, we have a plan and effect to go out and act and respond. And that's exactly what we did Saturday morning. Explosion happened Friday morning at 4:30. That next morning, Saturday, we were over at our Chapelwood campus at 7:30 in the morning, getting ready for what we didn't know would be 85 volunteers showing up that day.
Amazing.
And we walked and we talked to people in that community that their houses caved in on them. They lost windows, they lost doors. I mean, just imagining being at 4:30 in the morning, being sound asleep, and then something like that happening, and your house is all of a sudden falling apart. I mean, it's got to be terrifying. And these people this community doesn't have a lot of money in it, a lot of older people that just, they don't know what their lives are going to hold. A lot of the houses are going to be repaired, which is great, awesome. A lot of houses, though, will, not a lot, but a few will be demolished because they're just structurally not able to be repaired. So, we talked about this impact that Chapelwood has on that and that our ability to respond. And, this is, got a lot of publicity there.
Right.
But kind of what I wanted to talk about from it is, it's great having 85 volunteers show up. It really is. Where are volunteers on the norm, though? I think I don't want to make it out to be something bad when if it really was. It's a great thing, and it's not a knock on anyone because it applies to me too. But it takes something almost, literally earth-shaking,
right,
to get us out of our houses to go volunteer now. How many of those people that showed up, me included, are out on my free time volunteering, trying to make an impact on people's lives.
Right.
Because there's plenty of opportunities. It's not a lack of opportunities.
No, plenty of opportunities.
And so, yeah, I've been really thinking about that over the past couple of days.
Right, what it takes for people to go and volunteer. I think that in our society now, you're almost washed over with volunteer opportunities, especially if you have children in school. There's constantly people that need help, so that looks different, and weekends are crazy. So I think that the number 84 is actually pretty amazing on such a short, turnaround like that.
Yeah.
To get people out, and I know that people were there the night before, handing out dinner and just loving on that community too. But I think social media is strong, so I think it just takes the one person to invite somebody else to go along with them, and to reach out, maybe to grab somebody as you go. Maybe there would be strength in numbers.
Yeah, no, that's good. And so, kind of while you're on this vein, you want to talk about our call to action for the day.
So I think call to action for me, thinking about this, was just what does that look like for you? I know for me, being a mom of sons who go out on mission trips, is they ask for funding, they ask for prayer. So sometimes you might not be able to go on that mission trip, or you might not be able to show up on that Saturday morning, but you can give financially. And I think just prayer. I think about when you went to Guatemala for Living Water, about how it was amazing that y'all struck water. So if you didn't have people praying and committed to that prayer of praying for you every day and praying for that mission trip, the success of it, and not only the safekeeping, but also the sharing of Jesus as you're there. And so to my call of action to me is I can say, man, I have so much going on. I work part-time at Chapelwood. I, have a family and a husband and involved in a lot of different things. But I can definitely sometimes just drop off food. Or the call of action doesn't have to be 12 hours on a Saturday. It can be the prayer that morning. It can be the food. It can be the financial. It could be the clothes that you can go and donate. There's just so much you can do to kind of find that.
Yeah, that's good. So as we wrap up this episode, as always, subscribe, like, comment, share. I want to hear from y'all this week, specifically about the timing of the podcast. I'm going to start asking questions to the audience. I want to hear back. Send me an email, enehring, enehring @chapelwood.org. Send me an email or comment on our Facebook stuff, direct message us, whatever. Give us the answer to this question of, how do you feel about the timing of the podcast? Do you think it's too long, too short, just right? Let us know. We want feedback. We want to make this the best for y'all, the best listening experience that for y'all, that makes y'all want to come back and listen, and makes y'all want to tell people about it. So yeah, leave us reviews on iTunes.
So will you read any of those?
Yeah, we'll, hey, you send us messages, we'll definitely shout you out, and we'll talk about it, and we'd love to hear about that. We're interactive. We're not just people on a screen. So, and then follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Chapelwood UMC Serving on Instagram, at CUMC Missions, and at Chapelwood Serving Local for Facebook. And we also have a YouTube channel called Your Why. Go subscribe to that. Go watch those videos. And then the last thing about volunteer opportunities is, as we were talking about the explosion, the restoration team is the one that put this all together. We have a podcast on them. Go listen to that. Also, go listen to the one of John from the first season too, if you haven't listened to that. But go volunteer with the restoration team every Saturday.
Yes.
They have volunteers. Literally, you can get plugged in so quick, and they're all about disaster response. And disasters require more response than just the week or days after the event. It takes years to get people back after they face these kind of calamities. So go and volunteer with them. Go interact with these people, and go and find your why people.
Is that good?
It was good.
Am I talking enough?
Howdy, and thanks for watching. Please leave a like and comment on this video.
And if you aren't subscribed already to the Your Why channel, go ahead and subscribe. Also, don't forget to turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If anything during the video piques your interest, go ahead and check out the descriptions in the link below. Go and find your why, people.